her way back to New York, she called me. Again, not wanting to waste her time or mine, I got right down to business. So I've been divorced twice. I don't think I can have kids, and I don't think I ever want to get married again. I held my breath, waiting for her to say one of two things. Either one, red flag, ew, get away from me, or I thought she would say what people always said when I told them I had been previously married 2 times. Oh, you must love love. And I really hate when people say that, because I didn't love either of those women I got married to. I was standing on the rooftop of the Platinum Hotel, in my tuxedo, looking quite nice, if I'm allowed to say that. And the wedding coordinator, who had been with my fiance most of the day, walks up to me with a serious and concerned look. She says, Antwan, if you actually go through with this ceremony today, you deserve everything that happens to you. Now, you may not understand fully what that means, but I knew exactly what she meant. This was supposed to be my second chance. I was walking down the aisle for the second time. And when she said that, it resonated. It was confirmation, it was a sign that I should not be getting married. I gave my fiance money to pay the initial wedding deposit, and instead of paying the hotel, she spent the money. On what? To this day, I still have no idea. She got into arguments with several of her bridesmaids, and 2 of them actually quit the wedding. They didn't show up a couple days before. In fact, 2 of her siblings did not even RSVP because they did not think that I would be crazy enough to actually show up for the wedding. But here I am on the rooftop of the Platinum Hotel. I knew the only reason that I was marrying her was because somewhere in my twisted way of thinking, this marriage would cancel out my previous divorce. What's that? You said, so Antwan, why didn't you call off the wedding? That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. I wanted to cancel the wedding right at that very moment when I spoke to the wedding coordinator. But then I thought, Black people don't cancel weddings right before the wedding ceremony, after they've already flown across the country and paid for hotels and hair and nails and new wedding attire. Somebody had to get married that day. So like that woman in the Hunger Games movie, I raised my hand as tribute. Our matrimony lasted for about 4 months. Also during this time, I found out I had a testicular tumor that would affect my ability to have children. So everything's working out swell for me. After that, I said, you know what, Antwan, I have to do some things differently. I sought some therapy, and then I said, I am going to focus on myself. I'm only focused on myself because I didn't understand how I had got here. I thought I did everything right. I went to church, I went to college, I got a great job, I planned for a beautiful life, and now I'm almost 40 with 2 divorces. Yes, I have to do something differently. So I was focused on myself. I still went out on a few dates here and there, but I was focused on myself. Later, I went to the Christmas party of one of my coworkers, who's now one of my great friends, Christina. And I went to the party, and I was focused on myself. I promise. But at some point, during the evening, I could not stop focusing on this beautiful woman who entered the room. I still remember how I felt when I was in front of her. It was something about her energy and her eyes and her smile, her face, her body. Everything was amazing. I wanted to know everything about her, but I was focused on myself. And I didn't say anything. I was so proud of myself. I went on with my life, but a few months later, I still could not stop thinking about this woman. The only thing I knew about her was that she was from New York. So one day at work, I said to Christina, Christina, there was a woman at your party from New York. I want to know everything about her. I want to know her likes, her dislikes, her hopes, her dreams. Oh yeah, I guess her relationship status also. And Christina said, Perry, because Christina calls me by my last name, She said, Perry, I thought you were focused on yourself. I'm not telling you this woman's business, but her name's Jennifer. Now, initially, that gave me some concern because that is the name of one of the other young ladies that I was connected with. And I had sworn off of Jennifer's. But there was something about this woman I could not get out of my mind. So with only having her first name and knowing that she lived in a major borough in New York, I started doing some Instagram detective work. Not even on my phone, I got on my laptop. I was like, I really need to see the connections and the mutual friends and the college, and then I found her. I couldn't tell if she was single or not by her picture, so I sent her a message. Hey, this is Antwan. I met you at Christina's Christmas party. Will you be at their party again this year? She replied, it's April. How are we to know they're going to have a Christmas party? Because who plans Christmas parties in April? But y'all, Christina had another Christmas party, and we both were there. I actually remember seeing her when she walked into the room. I was trying to play it cool and pretend to listen to other people that I was talking to. And then after a while, I did one of those kind of bump into and like, oh, hey, I didn't see you get here. And there was no chit chat. There was no small talk. I got right down to business. May I have your number? I don't know if she was impressed by that, but she actually gave me her number. And then I became both audibly and physically excited. And I'm not even going to explain to you what that means. And on her way back to New York, she called me. Again, not wanting to waste her time or mine, I got right down to business. So I've been divorced twice. I don't think I can have kids, and I don't think I ever want to get married again. I held my breath, waiting for her to say one of two things. Either one, red flag, ew, get away from me, or I thought she would say what people always said when I told them I had been previously married 2 times. Oh, you must love love. And I really hate when people say that, because I didn't love either of those women I got married to. And trust me, they felt exactly the same way. But instead, she said, you know what? We're all trying to figure it out. And then she told me her story. I have a son. I don't think I want to have any more kids, and marriage is not a priority for me. And after we got those things out of the way, we spent hours on the phone that night in 2019. We continued to get to know one another, but then COVID happened. But we did not want to allow a global pandemic to get in the way of us getting to know one another. So we spent every day together, either here in Maryland, in Beltsville, in my studio basement apartment. I know. She was so nice about it too. Or in New York. And you know what? During that time, we actually really fell for one another. You know, I think I want to marry her. I know. But there's just something about her. I just felt different. And I was afraid of these feelings I was having because I said to myself, Antwan, your family, they're not coming to any more of your weddings. You know what I'm saying? But then I said, you know what? If they meet her, they will understand the feelings that I am feeling. So through Zooms, and through mask and through balcony introductions, she met my best friends and my cousins, my aunts and uncles. She met my sister and my mom. And my mom has not liked any woman that I have ever brought to her house. But with Jennifer, she said, you know what? I really love her. I think you two complement each other really well. She said, I think this is the Jennifer that you were looking for. So, on Valentine's in 2021, in Honolulu, we got engaged. Yes, it's okay to clap there. And the following year, we got married in Egypt. I know. We later had another wedding in Mexico, and I became a husband again. And I accepted her son as my son. So I became a dad. Coincidentally, he looks just like me. That's how I know it was meant to be. And this is an actual breaking news sidebar. On Christmas Eve, we actually found out that we're going to have a baby. I know, it's so amazing. So now when I think about all of the things that I went through, the challenges, the ups and downs, I realized that it was all to cultivate me into the man and the husband and the father that I am today. So now when I sit and ask myself, how did I get here? I know that it was love.